For years, have you believed that drinking 1 or 2 glasses of milk a day is enough to keep your bones strong? The painful truth is that plenty of people still suffer fractures, osteoporosis, even end up bedridden, despite faithfully drinking milk their whole lives. The problem isn't that you're neglecting your health. It's that you've never been told the full truth about calcium and bone strength. Today, we're going to fix that from the ground up. If you've ever thought milk is all I need for strong bones, drop a 1 inch the comments so we can start fresh together. Many people still believe that drinking 1 or 2 glasses of milk a day is enough to keep their bones strong. Sadly, this belief leaves countless older adults deficient in calcium without even realizing it. In reality, the body's calcium needs, especially for middle-aged and older adults, are far higher than we think. If you rely on milk alone, you'd need 4 to 6 cups a day just to meet the recommended amount. Most people can't drink that much, which leads to a long, silent calcium deficit. Here is the dangerous part. Your bones don't warn you when they're weakening. When your body lacks calcium, it quietly withdraws it from your bones to maintain essential functions like muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and keeping your heart rhythm steady. This process happens day after day, month after month, slowly reducing your bone density without causing any pain or obvious symptoms. By the time your bones become too brittle, even a small bump or just a slight misstep can result in a fracture. Among these injuries, hip fractures are the most frightening. Once they occur, many people never walk normally again. They may end up bedridden for long periods, leading to muscle loss, pneumonia, blood vessel inflammation, and the risk of death within 2 years can climb as high as 30%. That's why doctors always emphasize preventing osteoporosis is far more important than treating it. The good news is that compared to heart disease or diabetes, protecting your bones is actually much easier. You don't need extreme diets or intense workouts. What you do need is the right knowledge, good calcium sources, how to pair foods for better absorption, and simple daily habits. When done correctly, your body responds quickly. Bone density improves, aches lessen, and mobility becomes smoother. Older adults often face 2 major issues. They don't know how much calcium they actually need each day. They don't know which foods contain more calcium than milk and absorb even better. This lack of information causes their bones to weaken year after year until it's too late. Many patients only discover they have osteoporosis after they've already fractured something. And they all say the same thing. If only I had known sooner. I would have changed my diet. That's why understanding the truth and acting on it now is crucial. Calcium isn't just an issue for old age. It's part of every meal and every small daily habit. If you've believed milk alone was enough, this is the moment to rethink and start protecting your bones the right way before it's too late. Many people believe that as long as they drink milk regularly, their bodies will absorb all the calcium in it. But the truth is completely different. Calcium is one of the hardest minerals for the body to absorb even when your diet seems adequate. If you consume 100 milligrams, your body may take in only about 30 milligrams, while the rest gets flushed out. That means no matter how faithfully you drink milk every day, you can still be severely deficient. And this is exactly why nearly 80% of older adults in Vietnam fail to meet their daily calcium needs. The problem becomes even more serious with age. Older adults absorb calcium less efficiently and lose bone mass faster, which means their daily calcium requirements are much higher than those of younger people. Unfortunately, most people only guess how much they need and end up eating far too little for years. When the deficiency lasts long enough, the body has no choice but to pull calcium from the bones to keep vital functions running, causing the bones to hollow out and march straight toward osteoporosis. The frightening part is that osteoporosis doesn't cause pain, fatigue, or any warning signs. It silently weakens your bones like termites eating wood, until one day you break a bone just by slipping lightly or bending down to pick something up. Many people only discover they have osteoporosis after a fracture, and by then, treatment becomes expensive, painful, time-consuming, and can permanently affect mobility. What troubles me most is this. All of this is preventable with the right knowledge and the right choices. You don't need pricey medications. You don't need complicated methods. You simply need to know which food groups contain far more calcium than milk and are absorbed more efficiently. You need to learn how to divide calcium into smaller doses, how to pair it with vitamin D, vitamin C, and other nutrients that help guide calcium to the right place in your bones. Just small, consistent adjustments in your meals can protect your entire skeletal system for years. Ask yourself, after all these years of drinking milk, have you really been getting enough calcium? Could you be deficient without knowing it? Are your bones truly strong, or have they been silently weakening? If you've ever wondered about these questions, or simply want to check whether you're eating correctly to protect your bones, comment 1. I'll walk you through every step, every food group, every optimal combination to help your body absorb calcium at its maximum potential. If you feel everything is fine, I'm probably getting enough, or you're not quite ready for change, then comment 0. But remember, your bones don't warn you when they're weakening. And by the time you notice, it's usually too late. The difference between those who maintain strong bones into old age and those who face osteoporosis and fractures comes down to one thing. They started earlier. Which path will you choose? Leave a 1 or 0 so I know where you are in your journey to protect your bones. If you'd like, I can continue with idea #3. Build a complete video script, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, or rewrite everything in a stronger, more emotional TikTok, YouTube Shorts style. Totally up to you. In the previous section, you learned why drinking milk alone can't prevent osteoporosis and why so many of us stay calcium deficient even when we think we're eating well enough. But understanding the cause is only half the journey. The more important part is knowing what to eat and how to eat so your body can absorb calcium fully and actually deliver it to your bones. A very common mistake among older adults is this. They try to eat more calcium, but they eat it the wrong way. As a result, most of that calcium gets flushed right out. It's like pouring water into a bottle with a hole at the bottom. No matter how much you fill it, it will never stay full. If you want strong bones, you need to seal that hole with the right habits. First, remember that calcium never works alone. It needs vitamin D to absorb, vitamin C to stabilize bone structure, and magnesium to activate the whole process. If even one of these is missing, calcium can't do its job. You can eat anchovy powder every day, drink calcium-fortified soy milk every morning, but if you're lacking vitamin D, especially common in seniors who stay indoors, your absorption drops dramatically. Second, your body absorbs calcium best in small doses of 200-300 milligrams at a time. That's why doctors recommend spreading calcium across 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, instead of loading it all into one serving. This is easier on your digestion and allows your body to absorb far more. Third, cut back on salt, coffee, and carbonated soft drinks. These steal calcium from your bones and flush it out through urine. Many people eat plenty of calcium, yet their bones stay weak because they're losing more calcium than they take in. The amazing thing is, you don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just start with one small change, like add 1 glass of calcium-fortified soy milk to your morning. Sprinkle 1-2 teaspoons of anchovy powder onto your lunch. Add a piece of tofu to your dinner. Simple steps, but they can noticeably improve your bone density in just a few months. And if you truly want to know which foods contain the most calcium, when to eat them for the best absorption, how to avoid the mistakes that waste your calcium, how to build a full-day meal plan that keeps your bones absorbing efficiently, comment 1. I'll send you the full food list, the best combinations, and small daily tricks that help calcium reach your bones faster, all without relying on any expensive supplements. Once you understand how your body absorbs calcium and what can weaken that process, the next step is choosing the right foods. Those that are truly calcium-rich, often richer than milk, and easy to include in your daily meals. The truth is, many familiar Vietnamese kitchen staples contain exceptional amounts of calcium. They're affordable, easy to prepare, and ideal for older adults. But because people lack this information, these foods are often overlooked. The first group includes naturally calcium-rich foods like anchovy powder, kale, low-oxalate leafy greens, nuts, and tofu. These foods don't just bring calcium, they also provide key micronutrients like vitamin K, magnesium, and fiber, all of which boost bone mineralization. Calcium from natural foods usually comes packaged with supportive nutrients, making it easier for the body to absorb and use efficiently. The second group includes calcium-fortified foods like enriched soy milk, calcium-fortified cheese, and some mineral-boosted nut milks. These products are designed to pack a high calcium content into small servings, perfect for older adults, people with low appetite, or anyone whose digestion doesn't tolerate cow's milk. Equally important is the way you combine foods. Pairing calcium-rich greens with tofu, adding cheese to broccoli, or eating anchovy powder with vitamin C-rich vegetables at lunch helps your body make the most of the minerals you take in. But combine them the wrong way: too much salt, coffee right after a calcium-heavy meal, or processed foods high in phosphates, and calcium absorption drops significantly. Another key point is splitting your calcium intake throughout the day. Don't expect your body to absorb a huge amount of calcium from a single meal. Calcium needs time and the right environment to move into your bones, so spreading it across multiple meals leads to long-term, sustainable benefits. The most important part of this stage is habit building. When you consistently choose the right foods every day, your body slowly begins to replenish calcium and strengthen bone density. The change won't happen overnight, but after a few months, many people notice a clear difference. Less back pain, the ability to walk longer without fatigue, and a stronger, more stable feeling when moving. Understanding these principles and applying them creates a solid foundation for the next step: building a golden meal plan that naturally strengthens your bones throughout the day. Simple, practical, and suitable for every age. Once you know which foods are rich in calcium and how to combine them correctly, the next crucial step is making sure the calcium you eat actually goes where it needs to go, into your bones, instead of being wasted and flushed out. This is the part many people overlook, which is why they consume plenty of calcium yet see little improvement. There are 5 key factors that determine how well your body absorbs and uses calcium, and anyone who wants strong bones needs to understand them clearly. 1. Vitamin D. If calcium is the building material, then vitamin D is the delivery worker that transports it to the right place. Without vitamin D, your body can barely absorb calcium from the gut. The problem? Most Vietnamese, especially older adults, are vitamin D deficient due to staying indoors, avoiding sunlight, and covering up too much. That's why, in addition to 10-15 minutes of sunlight a day, you should include vitamin D-rich foods like eggs, salmon, mackerel, or consider supplements if recommended. 2. Vitamin C. Vitamin C plays a crucial role in forming collagen, the underlying structure of your bones. Without collagen, calcium has nothing to attach to, and strong, stable bone cannot form. Citrus fruits, bell peppers, tomatoes, and similar foods not only boost calcium absorption but also slow the aging of bone cells. 3. Reduce salt, coffee, and carbonated drinks. Salt causes your body to lose calcium through urine. Coffee and fizzy drinks reduce calcium absorption in the gut and increase calcium loss through the kidneys. Older adults who eat salty foods or drink a lot of coffee often face high osteoporosis risk even when they consume plenty of calcium. Fixing these habits helps your body hold on to the calcium you eat. 4. Daily movement. Many people assume that eating enough is enough, but bones only grow stronger when they are stimulated. Brisk walking, climbing stairs, or light exercise activates bone-building cells, forcing your body to pull calcium into the bone structure. Even 20-30 minutes a day can make a huge difference. 5. Protein. Bones are not made of calcium alone. They also have a protein framework. Without enough protein, calcium has nothing to bind to and simply goes to waste. But too much protein causes excess calcium loss. The ideal intake is about 1 gram of protein per kg of body weight per day. Tofu, fish, eggs, and lean meats are excellent choices that help balance calcium, protein, and vitamins in the same meal. When you master these 5 factors, you won't just eat calcium, you'll absorb it, use it, and optimize every gram you take in. And with consistent daily habits, your bones will grow noticeably stronger and healthier over time. Now that you understand why calcium deficiency happens, Know which foods contain more calcium than milk, know how to combine them for maximum absorption, and grasp the 5 golden factors that determine whether calcium actually reaches your bones, we can move to the most important part, turning all that knowledge into a real, practical day of eating. Most people fail at bone care not because they don't understand the theory, but because they don't know where to start. They don't know what to eat, when to eat it, or how to arrange meals so everything feels convenient and doable. Weak bones aren't caused by a single meal, they come from months and years of eating too little calcium or eating it the wrong way. And strong bones don't come from one miracle meal either. They are built from small choices, repeated every day. 1 glass of calcium-fortified soy milk in the morning, 2 teaspoons of anchovy powder at lunch, a portion of tofu at dinner, a bit of vitamin C from fruit in the afternoon, a short walk after a meal. Each of these tiny actions may seem insignificant on its own, but when repeated day after day, they become the foundation that helps your bones rebuild, strengthen, and stay resilient over time. If you do this correctly, after just a few weeks to a few months, your body will show you the difference. Less back pain, steadier balance, easier stair climbing, and less fatigue during movement. Many people who've applied these steps properly often say, "Why didn't I start this sooner?" That's why I want you not just to understand, but to take action. Knowledge alone cannot protect your bones, only action can. And you can start today, at your very next meal, with the smallest habit. If you want me to send you a 1-day golden bone menu, or even a full week with step-by-step guidance for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, to help you naturally hit 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day, without supplements and without high cost, just tell me. If you truly want to improve your bone health, comment 1 so I know you're ready for the most important stage, practical application and real results. Once you begin applying the right principles for nourishing your bones, you'll realize that protecting your bone health is not nearly as difficult as many people think. In fact, your bones respond surprisingly quickly to positive changes, as long as you give your body the right building materials, at the right time, and consistently each day. It will naturally reactivate the bone renewal process, a process that's always happening but slows down as we age. With the right support, that process can improve dramatically. And here's the key. You don't need to be perfect from day one. You don't need the pressure of changing everything overnight. The people who see the biggest improvements in their bone health aren't the ones who memorize tons of theory. They're the ones who repeat a few small habits every day, without giving up. They understand that bones don't weaken in a week, and they won't recover in just a few days either. But each correct choice, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a little movement acts like a brick helping rebuild the body's inner structure. Many older adults share that simply reducing salt, switching from cow's milk to calcium-fortified soy milk, adding a little anchovy powder to their rice, eating tofu a few times a week, and walking for 20 minutes each morning has eased their back pain, helped them stand up and sit down more steadily, and lifted their mood. That proves something important. Big results don't come from big changes. They come from consistency with small ones. When you look back, you'll realize that protecting your bones is really about protecting your freedom to move, your ability to take care of yourself, and your overall quality of life as you age. Strong hips, a stable spine, flexible legs, these are what help you stay independent, confident, and able to live fully without the fear that a simple fall could change everything. Weak bones deteriorate silently, but the beautiful thing is that bones also recover silently when you nourish them the right way. Every day, every meal, every tiny habit contributes to rebuilding that solid foundation inside you. And you always have a choice. Let time wear your bones down little by little, or take control and rebuild your strength from the inside out. In the next section, we'll put everything together into a simple, practical, easy-to-follow system, one that works for any age, helps you apply the knowledge effortlessly, and most importantly, keeps you consistent for the long term. Even though your bones quietly weaken over time, you can take control and reverse that process simply through the right choices each day. You don't need expensive medications or complicated methods. All you need is the right understanding, the right foods, and a handful of small but consistent habits. Strong bones aren't a matter of luck, they're the result of intention. Start with your very next meal. Start with your next step. Start with the smallest habit you can commit to. Because one small change today can protect the future you're building. And one day, when you stand up with ease, walk with confidence, and no longer live in fear of a fall, you'll realize that choosing to begin early was the greatest gift you could ever give your body. Start today, while you still have the power to choose a stronger, steadier future for yourself.